Joined now by a perfect student, A+. You got voted or graded top of the class of the NFL in terms of coaches and culture. When you heard that news, what were you most proud of, Coach?
Well, I think anytime you take over a team, obviously you want to establish a culture and bring in good people. I think it all starts with character and having the right people in your building. When you have the right people in your building, you could have a chance to build something special. So our players are great. They've been phenomenal, great humans. So it's been good to be around.
It's so true. I was thinking on the drive over here, like, who's the pain in the butt? Like, who's the attitude? There isn't one. There's not one. Everyone's...
Yeah, we try to avoid that. So it's been good. Like I said, all those guys are great. Locker room's great. Those guys compete. Meetings are great. Everyone's pulling for each other.
This
so
is a
really good.
roster full of I would let you date my sister people on this in personnel, which we love. Like Phillip Rivers was probably the last loudmouth that they had. I saw Edgerrin was here.
Edge was here. Edge always comes out every training camp. He's always around. Just a great, obviously a Hall of Famer, a Colt. Fans love him. Just hearing stories about him when he was here, just the person he was, the way he worked. I mean, I guess he lived in this building. Like, he never wanted to go home. He's gotten a chance to speak to our rookies, in the off season, and the way he talks about the game and the work ethic and everything you need to be successful. It's phenomenal. So it's always great to see him out here.
When he shows up, I was watching video of it. You're like laser focused. He's talking. What is he saying to you?
We were talking about the team and how's training camp going and what we're trying to get done in training camp and, the focus on these next couple of weeks before we hit the season. And we went through that, and I was just talking about, hey, we got to create an edge during training camp and make sure we're in great physical shape, come week one.
I'm hearing it's very competitive. There's Defoe saying goodbye to Coach Lou, who you'll have. Would love to talk about the defense, but let's not wait any longer to talk about this quarterback situation, competition in general, all phases, all positions, both sides of the ball. I feel like that's the word I keep hearing, which I love as a fan of these Colts. But when it comes to that process, where are you today?
I think, what's great about the competition at that position is these guys are pushing each other, to make each other better, and you want to see growth in both of them, and they're both pulling for each other, which is awesome. You might get in a competition where some guy's like, I don't want this guy to do well or whatever, but, Daniel will make a play, and Anthony sat for him, and vice versa on the same side. AR will make a play, and Daniel, supports him and loves him in that regard, so that part's been really good, and I think it's only going to make both those guys better.
I flew all this way to find out about that pinky. On a scale of 1 to Anthony Munoz, Hall of Famer, where is the pinky today?
The pinky's great. He's full go. They popped it back in right there on the sidelines and participated yesterday in practice. He'll be a full participant today, so we got lucky there.
How does what happened? Or I would ask you this, a lot of discourse about this. What's the lesson in that play? Is it an Anthony Richardson lesson? And if so, what is it? Or what is the lesson? I'm sure you've watched it a million times already.
Yeah, it was a 5-man protection, obviously, in that situation. And we just got to understand where our issues are in that situation. If we're sliding left, there's going to be one off the right side. If we're sliding right, there's going to be one off the left side that we got to manage and just understanding that situation.
Yeah, I want him to protect himself at Anthony Richardson. He has so much talent. The sky's the limit, and we love to see it. I know there was a plan, him starting and then Daniel starting week 2. Are you changing any of that plan now because of what happened?
Well, Daniel will start this week against Green Bay, but he'll play a couple series, and then Anthony will get the bulk of the work, for the first half after that.
How are you going to make this decision?
Well, we're going to look at it. I talked about those guys, consistency. We need consistency at that position. Joint practice this week will be big for them, and then obviously going into the game.
Love that. Coach Lou, the new addition. I love a Coach Lou. He's going to bring a little Staten Island to this defense. Defoe just said he's no nonsense. He's no BS. He's direct and honest. What are you noticing through camp? I'm sure you guys knew each other in all the ways before. What are you noticing with this camp from Coach Lou?
Well, he is very demanding, and I love that about him. His scheme's multiple on the back end, putting guys in position to go make plays, holds those guys accountable, and I think that's really good. And obviously adding the additions of Mooney and Cam Bynum on the back end is huge for us in the secondary. So really excited about that, really excited about what he's going to bring to our team.
Anybody that stand out on defense? I have a feeling, I'll put it to you this way. Do you think defense will be a strength on this team this year?
I do. I think obviously our defense, obviously with the defensive line we got with Buckner and Grover and Latu and Quiddy and Sampson, those guys up front, and adding Neville is big, and Zaire in the middle. And then I think Nick Cross is really coming on, going into his next year. And then obviously Cam Bynum and Mooney. And obviously, we got some competition going on at the corner spot. But I really like where our defense at, the aggressive nature we're playing with in training camp.
Do you think there's a benefit for the defense going against, Defoe was outlining the similarities between your two quarterbacks, but is there a benefit to the defense to have a quarterback competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think with anything, those guys are going out and competing, you know what I mean? And obviously with those guys, both of them are very similar in what they can do, running the football, obviously, with our scheme that we run. But it's good. It's good for the defense to see different quarterbacks, you know, because we're going to see different quarterbacks during the season.
We, of course, are here in the legacy celebration chapter of the late Jim IRSAY. I'll get to hang out with Kaylin today, who got that humanitarian award with ESPN. Defo was just wearing the logo on the hat. What is the energy going into the season with that push of the Jim IRSAY spirit?
Yeah, I think it's big. What he did for this city and this organization, bringing it to Indianapolis, couldn't be more grateful for him. I think there's a lot of gratitude for what he's done for this organization. You know, I think we're playing for a bigger purpose, you know, for him this year, because he meant so much to this organization, and how he went about his business, the generosity that he shared, you know, not only with his players, but with the fans in this community. You know, he was always so giving and caring, and, you know, he loved the Colts. He always talked about the horseshoe and how important it was to represent the horseshoe the right way and do things the right way. So, you know, a very unfortunate situation, but obviously he's going to be with us this year.
We're celebrating his legacy, of course. Is there like a lasting moment or a conversation that's going to resonate in your head when you're approaching tough decisions or wins or losses?
Yeah, you know, we've had multiple conversations, obviously, through the last 2 years with him on the phone, in the office. You know, he always very supportive of everything, and just said, hey, go with your gut, make decisions, you got to go with it. And that'll stick with me too. And there's just so many great memories with him. I mean, even the locker room in Carolina, my first year when we won, and he got out there and Meek Mill was playing, and you know, he's dancing and he's going and he's so into it, and just you could see the passion and the love, you know, that he has for the Colts.
I love this Tyler Warren. I met him at the rookie premiere. I was trying to figure 2 targets from Anthony, 2 targets from Daniel in the preseason. Didn't go as you planned, of course. Is he an Antonio Gates vibe? I know I don't want to put that on you, but you know Antonio Gates. Can you give me maybe just like one thing that Warren has that you know that Gates had?
I think he's got a natural feel for the game. I think he has an awareness for zones and voids in the defense as he's running routes. But the one thing that's really impressive about him, he's got unbelievable hands. And then when he's out in open space, like, he is so physical at the point of attack. Like, he's going to lower his shoulder and go after you. So I love that about him. Jonathan
Taylor, I was going to interview him today, and then he had something going on, and I couldn't think of a question to ask him because he's got the numbers, he's done his thing. What question is there to answer about Jonathan Taylor? My job was lighter today because I didn't have anything to really talk to him about. He's such a factor. He does it so quietly. What would you ask or have me ask Jonathan Taylor?
How do you stay so consistent? You know, I think the consistency that he's done in this league over and over again, he always shows up, you know, when we need him to make the big plays, you know, his yards per attempt, his rushing average, his vision, you know, just phenomenal, the consistency that he's played with throughout his career.
When can I expect the media stop grilling you about the quarterback competition? Do you have it in your head when you'll make a decision? After the 3rd preseason game, the night before the first game? Against Minkah Fitzpatrick, mind you.
I don't know when I'll make that decision. Obviously, we got a couple weeks before the first, you know, game. So obviously, it's got to be made before then, and that's probably when we'll stop getting grilled about it.
Okay, thank you, Coach. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.